everyone, starting in a second. Hello! Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. I hope that everyone can hear me. Let's turn down the music a bit. So, hello. Welcome Francesco and Layden. Hey! The Bob. Loud and clear, that's great. That's great. Awesome. So today, what we're supposed to do here today is we're like continuing to build this printer here. You see, I made some progress in the last 3 videos, and so far so good. We have managed to assemble the frame, and also the extruder is already attached to the gantry, but it's not like completely fixed yet. There's just it's just been fixed with some zip ties, and there's gonna be like the back plate, and we need to do the cable management today. I guess we're gonna finish this and then attach the belts to the x-axis, and then hopefully continuing with the assembly of the heatbed, and hopefully making it into the electronics part. So I'm not sure how much of the electronics section we're gonna finish today, but I have, yeah, so far I have some hope that we're gonna make some progress. This is taking actually quite a bit longer than I was expecting, but it's still fun. It's good to have you. In terms of how we do this, we have another, I think we have, yeah, we have this one also, so you can see things from above. I made some changes here. And I also, today I want to try out something new, because I have, let me get this. Let me see. So, because I also have now a mobile camera here, which is like, I can show you some more details. Like, just if we finish a step, or if I want to show you something, I can switch to this mobile camera and then switch back to the A-cam, which is awesome. Just like I think I was here like a few times last week just to finish up my setup of the whole studio, that I can like do a little bit better the live stream, so that I have less hassle going on. I think I mentioned it last time. So I had some issues with my computer here, and mainly because my computer isn't able to do the streaming and also running something compute intensive at the same time. So there is like a conflict with the graphics card, and that's why I brought a second computer in the studio. And like everything that I wanna, like if I have to demo something, I can always use the second PC, and then I can put the screen on the stream, which is awesome. So far we have a few people in the stream already. Let's start, and I want to show you where we are in the Prusa manual regarding the steps that we've already finished. So if you're following this along, I'm showing the Prusa manual where we have stopped. So this is the page here where we have been until the last stream. So we did extruder channels cable management. That's what I've just done. That's where we stopped. And now the next step is going to be preparing the belt parts, attaching the belts, and then I guess then, yeah, there's a few more things here. Belt preparation, tensioning the belt, aligning the belt, trimming belt, fine-tuning, so many things. Just for this one belt, which is looks a bit crazy, but it's yeah, I think the Prusa manual is very, very detailed, goes very in depth about every single item, every single step. So usually you cannot make anything wrong. Though, still, I did something wrong last time. I forgot to insert a few of the square nuts. I had to go back, I think, a few steps and redo it. So you didn't, I think you didn't realize this in the last time, but I fixed it. Then, yeah, we have still a few things to do to finish the E-axis, and then it's time for the assembly of the LCD screen and the maybe, hopefully, Heatbed electronics. I'm not sure if we can get this printer going today, because we're pretty relaxed here. Thank you, Layden, for the $5 super chat. I missed it. So thank you very much. Thanks everyone who is super chatting here. I just enabled that, and yeah, I'm thankful for everyone who is doing this. When you don't feel obligated to do anything, because we're here for fun, and I love doing this for you, and I love the community, and I love that everyone here who's joining. Yeah, hopefully you're gonna have some fun here. So let's go. With the next step, I think that the X-axis belt assembly is things here. So we need to prepare some things. That's why I will check out what is left in the box here, where we have the parts that we need. So I think I had to put everything away because of another project. So I need to figure out what I need. So next parts will be LCD screen. I think this is actually the belt. Belt X. Luckily every single little piece is labeled, so every single bag has a little sticker, and you're usually not having issues finding stuff. That's what I like quite a bit about the Prusa. Francesco, I've seen that you've been working on the ANIT, and why are you doing that? Why are you doing this for the 4th time? I'm interested. Like, what did go wrong with the previous tries that you did? So, let me know. We're here, right in the manual. So I'm inserting the belt now into this little slot here. So hopefully not doing this in the wrong orientation. So the little teeth need to be facing downwards. Okay. Use a screwdriver. I think this is, yeah, I see it. This is not as easy. So we need to push it into this little very narrow slot. So I'll have to use a screwdriver to do this, or something like that is flat enough. So, Francesco, the frame I purchased has the vertical axis too far forward, so I'm making some modifications. Okay. So, where did you get your frames? I guess you got it from... Did you buy it from Future's Maker? I think that's where I got my frame from. I'm having a hard time pushing this belt in. So we need just something flat and to get it into this very narrow slot. Here we go, Allen key. the Allen key works. Gonna push it as much as I can into this tiny area. It's really very narrow. So that's how it looks now. This is where the belt is going, and it is like here, like we have to push in very much until it hits the like the backside of this slot. So now it seems to be good, pretty much straight, or maybe not exactly straight. So I think I have to figure out how to make that, because it's bending a bit if I'm putting it to the side, so it's probably not exactly straight. No, I need to fix that. Good, good. Let's try aligning this a bit better. Okay. We're going to check what's next. Done this. Yeah, Francesco, you got your frame from eBay. I see. Well, I'm curious if anyone has heard of the Tatara frame, which is also a frame for the ANET. It's supposed to be very stiff, very much similar to the frame that comes with the Prusa. Probably not as thick, but still, I would be interested if anyone ever has seen the Tatara project and maybe knows someone or has the Tatara frame, because I think the AM8 frame is pretty much everyone knows the AM8 frame, but I never ran into someone that has done the Tatara upgrade, because that one it looks actually quite nice, because you can easily paint it in any color that you want. And some of the builds that I've seen online, but not from people that I know, are actually looking really cool. Yeah, awesome, pretty cool. So yeah, let's see. Axis belt, so we're guiding this belt through the X and idler, and then back. This is the step, and then we have to bring it through here, and then finally around the motor, and then probably yeah, then reinserting it here. I see. So, and we are loosening the motor just a tiny bit so that we can probably stretch it later. Tensioning. Yeah, I see. Tensioning works like using the motor. That's actually something that I probably want to improve in a later stage, that the bare tensioning, I'm not so sure if that is the most elegant solution to do it. Okay. But anyways, let's start doing this. Let's insert it into the slot. So belt comes here and goes around. This is like the other end where I have to put it through. So getting the belt through here and then reinserting this back on the lower side, and it's going to the motor and around here. There we go. And back on top. So now we need to unscrew the motor just to already have some slack. Which ones do we release? Just the okay, I see. Guide the X-axis belt, and then we can release the motor and use it for tightening. I'm not sure if it is currently to the very far right side, so it's not tensioned. That's good. so we're coming back. And before you continue, that's like in the manual, before you continue to guide the belt through the X-axis, please release 2 M3 screws on the X end until they detach from the motor. It must be possible to move the motor freely to the sides. Well, I exactly did this. Actually, I also like tightening the lower one, so I can now 2 M3 screws. Like the thing is that if I'm releasing only 2, I can still not really push the motor in any direction. So I have to release every 3, all of the 3. Now it's possible to move it, but like just 2, 1 won't do it. Rotate the motor towards the frame. Well, how should I do this? Until they detach. Okay, completely detach. I guess that was the word that I was missing. Detach. Okay, so that's this one is still fixed, and the other 2 are completely detached. So can I now move the motor? Not yet. Pull them out a bit. So I guess now I can now I can turn, can you see this? Here we go. This is like, I can turn the motor and I can push it forward so it's more towards the frame. And there is like probably a less tension here. Next step here is, here we go. We're reinserting this as shown. So I'm doing this on the back. You can't exactly see what I'm doing, but you have saw what has to be done. I'm going to show it to you in a second. So I'm trying to get this as like much tension, trying to give it as much tension as possible. Just using the belt with pushing it a little bit or stretching it manually. Okay, so it is, yeah, it's now going in. This is a bit wacky actually. The most, as I say, it's not the most elegant way to do this, I think. That's why I wish that was more like a solution with a belt tensioning system with there is probably an upgrade for like a printable upgrade that makes this a better experience and especially makes it better and easier to stretch the belt later without detaching the motor. And why is it not going into the slot? I have no idea. So let's have a look. This is like how it looks like. This is where the belt needs to go in, and like you have to tension this by hand to push it in here. So it's like pre-tensioned already a bit, not too much. But yeah, pushing this in now is a little bit of a difficult thing to do. I'm trying my best, but it's like still not even halfway in. So like, yeah, I hope I can push it with the Allen key, and then we can pull the motor and turn it so it's gonna be even more stretched. That's what I'm doing right now. So, Francesco has a question. Do you think it's possible to match a Prusa i3 print quality with a M8? Well, we could do that comparison. I still have my AM8. It's not in a good shape. Like it's probably working, but I would have to test first if it's still working. I have no idea, honestly. The last thing I was using it was probably 2 years back. But yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I'm interested. It's like, why is the belt not going in the slot? Why is it so difficult? Because I have, like, I see it. You have to cut it. I didn't see this. I didn't see that, like, from the drawing, you could not really 100% tell why, but there is not, this slot isn't open here, right? So it's, yeah, I have to cut the belt and then it's just like, it's just on the upper end here and the, in this area, you can push it and then like you have to cut it because it's not, like, because I was thinking that this was an open slot, but it's not. It's closed down here, so you cannot push, like you cannot cut it on the underside. You have to really cut it right above this, the end of the slot. I didn't see this. There will be belt overhang, don't trim it yet. Yeah, we'll do this later. Obviously reading is key. Tensioning, you're now tensioning the belt. How much? Use right hand to rotate the motor to its original position and hold it. Tension is applied to the belt. Yes, I can absolutely confirm this. If you're struggling, like very small force should be needed for bending the belt, but the belt shouldn't be bent by its own weight before being pressed with your fingers. It must be straight. Well, yes. I mean, it from that looks good. One issue that I see here is that idler, or like not the idler, but the GT2 drive, it is not far enough. It is too far away from the motor. So it's like the belt is actually being pushed to the side, which is not good. Should be closer to the motor then. Not good here. You should have it then closer to the motor. Like there isn't much space between the motor, and I'm a little bit afraid that this could be an issue. Why is this so? Did we do something wrong in the assembly process? I'm just curious. Probably I did. Well, I see where the problem is. That's where the problem is. If you look at this, if you look at this part, it's like turned that the bigger end, the thick end is like pointing outwards and the actual gears are on the inside. And I think for I did it, like I attached it in the wrong direction. Look at that. It's attached in the wrong direction. So I have to tension the belt one more time, turn this around. So because now it's pushing against the plastic. You see what's happening right here? It's actually it's skewed. So like we have to turn this around. It's certainly a mistake that I made somewhere in the process. But happy to, like, I got it, because if I would have tried to print something and then like at some point the belt would like rub against this plastic part. It's not good. So let's just turn this around. And now we can try to center that. I would actually try to center it before, right after we have attached the belt. So it's like pretty much really centered all the way. Turning the motor back, so there isn't so much pressure. Okay, so now it's like rotated. You did the same. So you also put this the drive, so the GT2 gear in the wrong direction. That's, yeah, good to hear that not only me is making this mistake. Good. I think we're good now. So we can give it a bit of a little more tension now. Probably I've done too much here already. Like my manual tensioning is already pretty much very straight. So I'm curious, like, is my gear now centered correctly? Because that's another important thing. It should be pretty much centered, so the gear doesn't have to make a curve or something. So that's why I wasn't attaching it. I wasn't really fixing that yet, so I'm now doing it. So it's now not moving anymore. So let's see. Not too much, because we could destroy this little grub screw otherwise. But for me, it looks really ideally centered with the flat part of the motor shaft. So let's try it. Let's release it just a tiny bit. Good. Here we go. This is now. Now the thing is that the grub screw, one of the grub screws needs to be like vertical with the flat part of the motor shaft, so it has the best and most firm attachment. And then the second one is just like pushing against the rod from a 90 degree or 45, now 90 degree angle. Now it's good. One straight. Doesn't push against anything, which is fine. That's fine. Good, so we are like here doing the tensioning now. I'm like trying to pull the motor just a tiny bit back. Like moving it into the original position isn't exactly possible. I've done a little bit too much tensioning probably. But I can also release this lower like the third one here, and then like bring everything back into the center position. So I'd say let's do the tensioning manually. And it's pretty stiff now. I'm not sure if it needs to be that much. Yeah. But it's making a little bit of a sound. That sounds great. Good. Francesco. I realized today that my bed carriage has been printing upside down for the last 4 years. Oh yeah, I think I know what you mean. Like you probably have like, there is, I think the Ainit carriage is like, how many parts is it? Is it 4 parts? Like one bigger middle part and then 2 that hold the bed in place. And I think I did the same. I did the same mistake. So that's why my belt was always a little bit going upwards towards the bed, and I was always wondering, why is the belt not straight, right? Why is it not going straight under the bed? The reason was I had like this carriage turnaround, and that why it was a little bit higher, and that was, yeah, exactly, and this thing was like a little bit too high just because of the reason that I have turned it in the wrong way. I fixed that. I think I fixed that when I built the AM8. It wasn't a big problem, but especially when the frame comes to the let me see, when the frame comes to these edges here, like it was getting too much tension, or just a tiny bit too much tension, because that was pulling upwards. Yeah. Yeah, we all make seems that we all make the same mistakes. So let's go back here. Yeah, I mean, I did a few little mistakes during this little project here with the Prusa. So, but nothing serious. Like aligning, that's what I just did because I had to anyways remove it, and then I fixed it in a way that I aligned the belt so it just runs straight, touches nothing, and it's like it's centered. That's already done. Testing. Use the technique described to test if the belt is properly stretched. Use pliers to hold the motor and then move the extruder. Don't use excessive force. I mean, yeah. The thing is that when we hold the motor, and we can also do this manually, I don't need a plier, but like if I try to push the motor now, it shouldn't slip, right? So it's not slipping. There's really good tension here that I would really doubt that this is actually possible to slip. So next here is, let me see. Belt too loose now? Certainly not. Trimming the x-axis belt. Now this is the point. Measure the part which must be trimmed and gently take the end of the belt away from the X-carriage, but make sure it still stays in the slot. Yeah, so we're not losing the tensioning here. And then, I mean, why should I mark it? Like, why should I mark it when I just can cut it? just why? So good question is, one of the most important questions, like, do I have some, no, I think I have no, the cut, using pliers, cut the belt, push it inside X-carriage. Okay. I think I don't have, I just have a scissor here. So I have no, I think my cutter is, it's not here. I think I left it at home, but anyways, I think I can still, like, I'm just gonna cut it, right? So I mean, this looks fair enough, easy enough. Let's just do it. Pushing it in. Is it enough? Maybe it's still a little bit too long. Maybe 1 little millimeter too long. Cut it a bit more. So, because it didn't fit in the slot yet, it's still too long. Now I can't cut it anymore. Why? This pliers, and then let's try this one more time. Just need to remove 1 millimeter actually. Here we go. Good. And it fits perfectly. So using the Allen key as in the manual, pushing it in, so it's almost perfect now. Perfectly straight. So let's have a look. So this is how it looks now. Both ends of the belt are inserted in these slots here. We have pretty good tension. And we can still move it easy enough. So I think we're good. So far, so good. Next step here. I don't know if we cut it, we push it, fine tuning. We finished the tensioning, read the instruction. I think it's enough tensioning. Like, we don't have to do this all over. There is a screw, like, which is this one? The tightening the screw on the rear side of the X end motor, but after each turn check the tension. This seems to be pushing against the motor. Does it? What's the idea of this screw here? What's the plan? Is it pushing against the motor and pushing it to the side, or what's going on? First, slightly release all screws holding the motor, otherwise the tensioner won't like. Yeah, I mean this, like as I said, there is probably a more elegant way to do this than using a screw pushing against a motor. I mean, it's certainly working, but I think I don't have to. I mean, there is good tensioning here. I think I've just tightened this screw to the point where it touches the motor, and then now, like, I don't want to have. I think I have enough tension here. I don't need more. Good enough, so to say. We can keep it as it is from my point of view. I tighten the screws. Yeah, like this screw, like I can show it to you. That's why I said, like, is this a good way to tension the belt? I recently installed a belt tensioner on my Ender printers, and I think I'm pretty happy because it's like really pulling out the idler. It's probably hard to see it, but here, let's try. That's the screw, just there. And that is pushing against the motor right there. Right? This is the point where it pushes the motor out. So you have to release the motor and then tighten this tiny screw here, and that's pushing the motor in this direction, right? And that's tensioning the belt. But the point is that there isn't so much space to move. Like the motor has there's just this much space for the motor to actually move, right? So there needs to be some slack, and then if that's not enough, you have to like probably undo the whole belt and then like put it in more tight into the slot, and then you can like do the final tightening here at the motor. That's why I say I think it's not the best and most elegant solution to do this. I've seen, like, from what I've done with the Ender, the belt tensioning is right here on this end. I probably will find some modification to do it from here instead of like having to move the motor around. I just don't like that. I think it's not a big problem, but it's like, Okay. What's next steps? Nylon guide parts preparation. It is recommended to wear safety glasses while cutting the nylon filament. For the following steps, please prepare. We have this. I was wondering for what is this for? Right, this is the piece, right? This is a piece of nylon. Looks like thick filament actually. And that's used for what? Let's see. We have that. Using the pliers. Cut one end of the filament to create a tip. And where is this going? I'm just curious. I never saw where is this used. No idea. Is this guiding the cables? Ah, yes. Okay. Okay, I understand. So this is a plastic piece, a nylon, filament, probably 2.5 millimeter or something. And that is the cables are running alongside this nylon, and then it's keeping them, I don't know, probably keeping them in shape or not bending too much or whatever. Interesting concept. Interesting concept. So let's cut the tip. It's easier said than done. pretty rigid actually. Okay, so we have cut a tip now. I don't know, you can't see it probably. Here we go. This is the nylon. It's not sharp. Yeah, but this is the tip. So this is the nylon string, and that's going to go into... Yeah, this looks pretty similar, but mine doesn't look that clean. It's a bit squeezed, but probably not a big issue. And now this is inserted the back. Okay, so locate, here we go. This is like inserted at the back. So let's do this. So I'm pushing this in. Where's this hole? Here we go. There is a little hole here in this carriage. I'm wondering if this is supposed to stick in, like it's gonna hold? Well, seems so. Okay, using the pliers, insert the nylon filament with the pointed end into the slot. Twist the filament while pushing it. Hold the extruder with the other hand. Okay, let's try. Probably it needs to go more in, like further in. Well, it seems that it doesn't come out anymore. It's pretty much in. It's good. Can damage the wires. I'm not doing that. So yes, so I've pushed that in. Good. Then the pink step, like to check if the filament is seated properly, gently pull it with your hand. X-axis should bend a little, but the filament must remain in the slot. That looks good. Seems so. Okay, and now we're bringing in this last part, which the X-axis carriage back parts. So these are the parts that we need. So we have an X carriage cable holder. We have the back element, the X carriage back element. And we have, I think these four are going to be used to attach it. We have a long screw, an M3x40, and we have a single nut. So what are the preparation steps? We'll assemble this one. We're preparing the screw, drive the screw all the way through, and then, yeah, I see where this is going. So inserting this into the cable holder, this seems to be easy. And then we have this part, and we have one M3 nut coming in from the back side here. So let me see. It's the light here a bit. Okay, so usual method to pull this in, like I'm using an M3 screw from the back and I'm pulling this nut in before I finally attach the part. We can push it in a bit, but we should also try to like finally make sure that it's actually straight with the bottom, because I think I made a mistake in the assembly of the E-axis at some point. I inserted a nut and then it wasn't perfectly, like it wasn't really flat with the plastic piece. I inserted the screw and that I kind of destroyed the thread. And that's gonna Yeah, that problem's gonna come back to me when I will have to disassemble the extruder at some point in the future. I will have to find a way to get the screw out of that nut. Not yet, but that's probably gonna come at some point. So what do we have to do now? Oh, this was actually the wrong one. You see? Oh no, it was good. It was good. So we're inserting this here. And then like pulling technique, yes, that's done right. Here at the top. Rotate the X carriage back and tighten it together with the cable holder. So that's the next step. That's what we have to do now. And now the nut was falling out. Okay, so it seems sometimes these slots aren't as tight, and then the nut keeps falling out, which is a little bit of a bummer. So I have to do this again. Is it not holding the nut in place? I don't know. You need to a little bit straighten it more. Hope that this time it doesn't come out. It's not really... It's not really fixed in place for some reason. Not very much fixed. I hope this still works. So I'm gonna hold it with my finger in place. It's not staying there. I mean, looking at the shape of this cavity, it should actually stay in place, but it keeps falling out. Good. What are you guys doing while you're watching me doing this assembly? I'm interested. Are you also building something? Are you just sitting in front of your screen and watching and just enjoying, or what are you up for? It's not getting in there. It's like, looks like it's a bit tilted. Doesn't look very good, honestly. I have no idea why this screw is not, like, why this is not going in. It's not really pulling it in. Seems that the place where the nut is supposed to go, there is some issue here. I don't know. Like, there's maybe some filament rest or some, like... I had this problem with another part, and I had actually used the knife and then make that a little bit, just open it up just a tiny bit, because that wouldn't fit in, like the nut wouldn't fit in the hole where it's supposed to go. I think we have the same problem here. You're building. You're posting something. Okay. I'm gonna bring it up if you want. I'm gonna bring it up on the screen if you post something on Discord. Let's try. Actually, I have Discord open, but we should probably clone this screen. Say Discord. So I'm changing OBS on the fly. So Discord goes here. Bring a screen, but we're... Oh, I mean, the chat is also there, but it's in the back. And we are capturing a window, which is Discord. Already in use, Discord app. Okay. Discord exe. Here we go. Where did you post it? Where did you post it? Tell me. So I'm going into the right folder. General, maybe? Where did you post it? Is this the picture? Yeah. If that's you, that looks pretty decent already. That looks nice. That looks very similar to the AMA that I've done, but it's a little bit different. But I see some of the parts that you're using, I realize that I also did. Probably these holders, these rod holders are the same. But yeah, nice build. I mean, I see. You need a working table. You should get a working table. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm still struggling with this M3 nut that doesn't go into the supposed slot because it's not big enough. Actually, it's like not going in there properly. And when I try to tighten, it's like to pull it in with the M3 screw, it is somewhat. Now it's working. Yeah, I've cleaned this. I cleaned it a little bit, and now it seems to be going in. It seems to work. I feel very comfortable on the floor for my builds. Okay. Well, I mean, that's good. I'm always a little bit scared of building on a carpet because there is electric, like, how is it called? Like if you rub on the floor, there could be some electricity building up in, I don't know, your clothes or something. And then it could get, you could get a little bit of a electric shock, and that could destroy some electronics, right? So it's, that's why I'm always a little bit scared of doing some stuff on the floor, especially on carpet. So this is supposed to be assembled together now. At least looking on the assembly guide. Place it in the part. Yes, pulling technique. We tried, we failed, and at some point succeeded. Rotate it back and tighten it together with the cable holder. So let's see if this is working. I am not entirely convinced yet. Since I can still, like, it seems that the M3 nut is not in the slot for far enough. At least it's not far enough in to, like, the screw doesn't reach. Strange. So now the thing is that in the previous step we were supposed to like to bring this nut in this cavity here. That's where the nut's supposed to sit, but it's not going completely in yet. So probably have to use more force. And it was like somewhat blocked. I hope I got it now. So let's try this one more time. Let's try this one more time. So I'm bringing these pieces together, and now it seems that it's a little bit more. The nut is actually further into the slot, and now we can tighten it. Good. It works now. I mean, there's not much. It's just barely grabbing the M3 nut. It's really very, very short. I mean, I would. No, it's not possible to take a longer screw. Yeah, because there is already. Because this part here is also supposed to go over the linear bearing, so there shouldn't be anything blocking this. So yeah, there's not much that we can't actually use a longer one. Doesn't matter. It looks fine so far. It looks like it's supposed to look from tailing from the manual. We did everything right. Check the U-shaped slot is aligned properly with both parts. That looks good from my point of view. This looks great. And now we're pushing the cables back, pushing them through. There are two variants of the hot and fan cable. See the detail, the connectors are the same. Next, okay, push the cables from the extruder through the X carriage back. Start with IR sensor cable, then the extruder motor and hot and fan. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. So there is multiple cables here. IR sensor cable is this is this black and white one. This goes through. So cable number 1. Then extruder motor. This is this one here. Hot and fan. Hot and fan is this is the hot and fan. I have to undo the zip tie now. Okay, let's unwrap this a bit. Good. This goes also through the cover. Now we have these 3 passing through. Cables from hot end are not going through the X carriage back. Carefully insert the nylon filament and then slide the X carriage back. So, which one doesn't go through? Cables from hot end. Yeah, I know what they mean. It's like it is also not working, right? Because these hot end cables are very, very thick, so they don't go. So print fan and super pinder sensor cables are coming last. Good. Let's do this. Print fan. It's the German colored one, so to say. Black, red, yellow. So, finally the pinder probe. Go through. And then the nylon. Last but not least, the nylon. It's going through here. See where this is going. Like, this is nice. This looks nice. Everything is now going through this part. Carefully insert the nylon filament and then slide the X carriage towards the X axis. Yeah, and that's where we need the last 4 screws, and then we are assembling this part using these 4 screws towards the carriage. I think that's easy. Hopefully, at least. I think these cables have to be tension. Curious, is this working? So we have to pull them while we're pushing this part against the carriage. There isn't much space here. Interesting. I mean, this is supposed to be very pretty flush with the backside. So we have to make sure that all the cables are pretty much stuck going around this part. Okay, let's see. This seems to be we can attach it now. Let's see. Wanna show it to you? This is where we are. So I have all the cables coming out on the back now, and this plate is supposed to be attached now, so it's Like the cables are coming here, and then we're probably gonna wrap them. But yeah, there's little space for the cables to bend towards this opening, right? It's really, they have to go around this corner on each side and then make it back to the opening here. And that's a little bit difficult, but it should be fair. It should be working. Good. Good, good, good. The Bob has some comments. Let me see. Mistaken. I think it's really only for the tuning, never use it. Yes. Well, you built your i3 half a year back, I guess. So good to hear. How happy are you with your Prusa? Is this printer still like doing a good job for you? Still printing with the same quality as in the beginning? That's what I'm curious about. Like when you like build a printer, it might be pretty good in the beginning, and then my doubts are that it could probably get some issues over time. There could be coming some issues. Quality could decrease. I'm not sure if this is actually the case for you. Nice. I like that. So let's modify the overhead cam just a tiny bit, because I want to have the overlay the same like cropped copy paste to the overhead, paste the duplicate. Not with the B cam actually, but with the A cam here. That should go left corner. I'm not sure if that works. Yeah, that seems to be working. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. Just like push this here a bit to the side, so we have like both things to see. Do you like that? Is that good? I'm still experimenting with OBS, trying to figure how to arrange things on screen, how to make things not like hide other things on screen so everyone can see everything that's interesting. We're still experimenting. I'm curious where the last one is going. It's going here on the downside. Here, it's like on the up or lower end. There is one slot left. Yeah, having multiple cameras is actually, it's nice. It's also a burden, but I'm not 100, like you're never happy. The thing is like you're never 100% happy, because like now there would be also an advantage to have a camera right here at my chest pointing towards what I'm seeing. But if I would put like kind of a GoPro camera on my forehead, it would also look quite stupid. So it's never ideal. Like and I don't have a cameraman yet, so maybe at some point in the like very distant future, I can maybe afford a person doing a camera work here in the studio and like filming the interesting parts from like over the shoulder or something. I mean, so it is so much work like to do this alone. You can trust me, but I do this like it's fun for me. I like I have like the hobby is, of course, the 3D printing hobby is what I like, but I also like cameras and stuff like that, and working with different cameras and lights and audio and stuff like that. It's also fun for me. Yeah, if you're around, like if you're living in Germany, you can come by. Now it's the thing is, honestly, with YouTube is that I don't know many people in my all of the friends that I know. They have nothing to do with YouTube. First of all, they are not interested in these kind of things, like in cameras or 3D printing or even computers, or even, I don't know, like probably I have to have, my friends are more interested in barbecue and stuff like that, and beer and sailing, and I mean, it's also all like, I like that too. It's not that I don't like, but it is like hard to find a person that is as passionate as on these things, about these things, than as I am, and that's really difficult. So just some insights. Here we go. Next thing, I tighten these screws. It's working. It is, yeah, it's pretty much fixed now. Extruder is fixed, and this is holding the extruder even further in place. And then we have like to do the sleeve, or the wrap as I call it. We put it over the cables. That's actually one thing that I liked very much about the Prusa, that they have this, that they're not using a cable sleeve. There is these cable sleeves that are extendable, if you know them. I've used them for my ANIT printer. I've used them for my Ender printers. So basically what you do is like, it's a mesh tube, and you can push the cable through, and it extends and like widens up, but it's not open. So if you need to remove one cable from that sleeve, you have to pull it through the whole thing. That's not that bad, but it's also not very maintenance friendly in that way, especially if you want to modify and, like, for example, swap out the probe for another probe that has a different cable. It's a lot of work. And here, that's why I swapped out these sleeves now with the like the open sleeves, which are just wrapped, so to say. And then you can just go and insert a new cable, or you can remove one cable from that. That's very elegant. So we need zip ties. We need the cable sleeve. Where is it? That is, I think it was in this tube, if I remember correctly. Oh wait, we have multiple. We have multiple sleeves. There is probably, this is this is probably not for the extruder. Is this the big one? Because there's also two smaller ones. They say it's 13 by 490. It's probably the, yeah, this is the thicker one, is actually the one for the extruder. That is fairly thick. It's pretty heavy material. But yeah, let's do this. How is it working? We are bringing the cables into the sleeve. Open one end of the textile sleeve and slide it on the cable bundle reading from the extruder. Don't forget to include the black nylon. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, so I am putting these things, including the nylon, here inside. So that's fairly easy. So we can just like open it and then like slide the cables in, and then like close that up. How much? Probably just like the first few centimeters, and then we are inserting these Now we're just already fixing it at the beginning. So this is just for the first few centimeters, and then we're already fixing that. I guess it makes sense because it's holding it in place and it's not slipping. It's not slipping away. So that should be easy. Well, I'm trying to get all the cables properly in, and then as soon as I've done that, I will fix the sleeve here at the end of the extruder with 3 zip ties, and then there is 3 little slots here. 1, 2. This is the last one. So now we can close the zip ties, so we can fix this sleeve in place. And I want to make sure that this is really pushed towards the extruder properly, and we start fixing that in place. Let's make it a little bit tighter here. Too much. Thank you. Unused. Yeah, it should be hopefully pretty tight now. Number 2, number 3. This is not going anywhere. Good. Good. That's good. Looks good. Sleeve is twisted. It's like fairly stiff now. And yeah, cut them as close as possible on the head. Okay. And next part is supposed to be done that. Guiding the hot and thermistor cable, and is it going? So it's not supposed to go under. It's supposed to go above, and then I see there is 2 other slots, and they are supposed to hold these cables. Okay, so let's go back to fix that. Make sure that this is aligned properly. It's actually hard to see at the moment. Is the cable coming above? Yes. Okay. So using another 2 zip ties here and fixing that. How going to be fixed now? We are creating a loop, and then we are fixing that onto the underside of this cable holder. Good. So loop number 1. I'm double checking that this thermistor cable is still above the heater, which is the case. We're not fixing it now, and that's how it looks now. This is how it looks now. So we have like we have the main cables coming like from the inside here. That's going here above. And now we have the temperature sensor coming. That's going above, and then we have the heater cable going below. Everything is now going to be inserted in the shrink wrap, in this wrap, and then it's like going all to the very end. So let's do that. That's smart constructed. If you want to change the hot end, for example. Yes, I agree. I mean, honestly, there is a few things that make it, like if you have to disassemble the extruder, it has quite a few, there's quite a few cables or quite a few screws that you have to undo. So, I mean, that isn't very ideal. I'd say this is I would say it's unnecessarily complex to have so many screws on an extruder. Like, I mean, I get it. It's 3D printed parts, and that's the reason. They have to be assembled, and it's like it's very modular, and it's probably all good. On the other hand, if you need to take it apart, there's probably 20, I don't know, 20-ish screws that you have to undo to get, I don't know, get to the inner parts. There's a downside, and there's pros and cons probably for everything, but this is compared to other hot end designs, like for example the I don't know what ain't it, like that's very simple. Like there isn't so many different parts that you have to assemble. Like this is fairly complex. If you see how many steps we have to do in this manual, there's 70 steps to do for the hot end. That's quite a lot. Okay. So we have everything now nicely wrapped in this tube. Luckily, all the cables are long enough, but that was kind of expected. This heater cable goes in here. Probably I would have to turn that sleeve a bit, so it is. Yeah, it's probably not very elegant. Not the most elegant way how I did it, but it works. Yeah, that's good enough, I'd say. And there's going to be cable zip ties around this anyways. In the end, I think we're gonna add a few more zip ties to hold this together. At least that's what I saw from the Prusa Mini. So far, so good. So my sleeve opening is not exactly at the bottom. It is a little bit to the side, but that is not really an issue. Haribo time. We're finished. Let's go to the next step also, actually. And let's assemble the LCD. Yeah, I mean, that's good news. If you have assembled it and that you never touched it after half a year, that's actually very positive. I like that, because it shows me that we have a very reliable printer here. Probably, unless I did any crazy mistakes along the way. So let's see what the next step is. We need the LCD. There is a little package here containing the LCD screen. And quite a few cables. So let's clean up a bit here. Still have 2 sleeves left. So this is the parts that come in the LCD bag. A few probably assembly screws for the case, and then we have 2 cables already attached to the back of this screen panel. Probably we need some 3D printed parts to finish this. We need these plastic parts, the front cover, nice. There is already a bag with all the parts for the LCD. There is a separate bag actually just for the LCD 3D printed parts. That's nice. So this is the front cover. These are the side pieces that hold it on the frame, and then also hold this thing together, and then is the turning knob. Actually, I replaced the turning knob on my Ender printer. I think one of them I replaced it with this Prusa knob. I liked it much more because you can turn it faster. You can just use your finger and turn it much faster. It's a nice design. Tiny details. We're talking about only the small details. Good. SD card. Do we need it right now? Where is it? I would need it where I'm supposed to find it. It's a good question. That's a very, very good question, where I would find the SD card. Honestly, I have no idea where this is supposed to be. This is the only thing that I didn't see so far anywhere. The SD card. Is there actually one coming with the printer? Because really, honestly, I didn't see it anywhere. I didn't see any SD card anywhere in this whole package. There's the Rambo mainboard. That's also closed, so there is probably no... No, there's nothing in there. Some electronics screws. What is this? This is spare parts. Power supply. There's another bag with plastic parts here. There is a USB cable. But there is no SD card. At least I don't find one. Not here. So either they forgot it or I misplaced it at some point. Probably it's not a killer thing. Oh, here it is. It was still in this little bag, hidden somewhere in this corner, like very, very dark. I couldn't actually see it. There it is. So nothing left. I think we have everything that we need now. We're checking the cables. Before you start, please ensure the cables are plugged. The slot called EXP1 must be connected to cable with one black stripe. Okay, let's double check. That's correct. Here we go. This is EXP1, and then we have EXP2. And there's a cable with 2 black stripes here, which is also good. Works. Nice. What next? Assembling the LCD supports. So we'll take them and slide them over from each side. Here we go. So we'll start with the left side. And we will slide this over. So we don't need to worry about the exact position. That's what it says. That's good. Going from the other side, the second piece. So, not worrying about the positions. I don't worry at this time. Probably gonna, like, it's probably been determined by this case. You can now remove the protective foil from the screen. Don't throw it away, we will reapply it soon. That's actually interesting. Okay, so we are reusing this. Oh, this is falling off already. So not really holding that good. So we are removing this screen foil. Where is it going to be applied then? I have fat fingers, like, is this really reusable? Okay, let's put it somewhere here. I don't want to touch it too much. So, and now we're assembling the cover. Press the LCD controller with the LCD support into the LCD cover as shown in the picture. Okay. Adjust the position of the supports if needed. Okay, so let's try to do this. Pushing that in. So that's how it's supposed to be. So press it in. Be careful, there is a knob on the other side. Yes, I'm trying to not destroy anything. So I think we're not really that perfectly aligned yet. That looks pretty good because there is the slot for the SD card. It is display seems to be flat with the surface, and the knob already is. It's looking good. It's probably enough space to insert or push the slot, the knob over here. That looks good. Well, how is this going to hold? I guess it's just clicked in place and then that's it. Securing. Okay, we need 2 M3x10 screws. And then where? These going? Side. Okay, that's where they go. I see. Is it not magnetized anymore? Okay, one more time. Damn it. Okay. It's not very strong, actually. Okay, so we're securing this LCD now. Oh yeah, it is in around the wrong way. Why did I? Yeah, because it fell off. It fell off, and then I've probably had it turned in the wrong direction. Let's fix this. Oh my goodness. This happens when you are distracted. So let's get it out. Come out. So. Of course, it fell off and then I didn't look at it anymore in terms of the direction. Thanks for helping me out. Good hint. So, let's bring this back into the position. So, hopefully, it's clicking in. Yes. This looks good. Okay, so so now finally we can fix it. One on the right hand side and one on the left side. Number one. So there's these very tiny slots where I have to go in. And then you need to push them a bit down so they are like moving in. And then finally we need to give it another push that is really like these holes are aligned with the nut. That needs a bit more force. So, almost there. Needs a little bit of a push now. This can be also done with the pliers. But it's very stiff. Goodness. This is harder than on the other pieces. Need way more force to do this. Now that should be in. I don't want to break anything here. But so far it looks good. Looks like they are all the way in now. So, Scott, the Prusa is still your favorite. How is it that you're joining the stream? Like, nice to have you here. So you're a little biased. I see. The master of Marlin firmware has joined us. Thanks for coming by. So, what are the next steps here in the assembly? We're fixing the display to the printer. In case you haven't assembled the anti-vibration feed yet, the front part of the printer will be resting on the mounted LCD. I have to double check actually. Oh no, I have put these dampeners already on, so that shouldn't be an issue with that. Now locate the holes for the M3 screws on the front plate, press the M3 screws through, place the LCD onto the front and tighten it up. Okay. Interesting enough that the LCD, like, was it mentioned somewhere that we need to reapply this LCD cover? I think it was just mentioned that we should keep it. Can remove the protective foil, don't throw it away, but is it really here? Reapply the protective foil, make sure this is clean without any particles. Okay, I didn't do that yet. I'm not entirely sure why. we should do this. Maybe it's just for protecting it. Do I like this? I mean, I'm not sure if I really like that. Securing, we did this preparing, and then now we're fixing it. So let's mount it to the frame. I think the cable will go under the frame, if I'm not wrong. We can pull them to the front, that's also good. And then we'll have these 4 screws here to assemble that. Where is the, we are not on the, like we're on the wrong side. I've turned it for you so you can see better. Now you can't see it anymore. Here we go. So attaching the screw, putting it through the holes, and then we'll assemble this to the LCD frame. Good. Oh, the alignment isn't there yet. Let's try this. Okay, now it's working better, so I can fix it. Tighten up the screws. Fine. That's done. We have tightened all the screws, assembled the LCD knob as shown in the picture. So somewhere on this table, somewhere on this table I have the LCD knob and it's black. So I have a black table surface and I'm looking for the black knob. That's not very good. Thrown it somewhere. We've thrown it somewhere on this table. Maybe it's under the printer now because I've turned this around. What is it? Probably just right here and I don't see it. Or did it fall off the table? Not good. Where's my knob? Does anyone see it? Oh my goodness. This is like, we had once a stream where I was looking for actually just a whole package with screws and it was right on the table and no one told me that it was just right in front of me and I was not see it for some reason. Where is this thing? Print one later. Yeah, maybe it was there. I had it right here. Why is it not here? It's crazy. Probably gonna find it later. So we're gonna find it when we don't need it anymore. There it is, under the table. I knew it. Okay. That happened when like I turned the printer on. So Haribo time. No, I don't have any Haribos anymore because 3 weeks back I opened the package and then they got, I don't know, they lost all of the juice and that's why I had to eat them. I couldn't wait anymore. So that was fast, was it? Wasn't it? Check the final look compared to the picture. Oh, this looks like it should be. You can now remove the why? This is like, what is this? This is a joke. Like, I had to put this protective foil on. Now it's super hard to get it. Like, seriously. Now I push this foil all the way on the LCD screen, and then now it's getting super hard to remove it. Like, this must be a little bit of a joke, huh? Why? Oh my. Okay, let's do this later. Probably an insider joke, that to put the foil on and then make it as hard as possible to get it off again. So, next step here. Let's move to Heatbed and Psu Assembly. We're not inserting the SD card yet. Next step, Heatbed and Psu. Good. Yeah, releasing foil from a screen is always a magic moment. The thing is, I probably missed the magic moment in the first place when I removed it for the first time, and now there's no magic moment anymore. Good. Let's come back to the heatbed. Here we go. I was just thinking that I had the heatbed placed somewhere around the table, and it was actually in my cabinet here, and we need to prepare it so we can assemble that. Nice. So let's probably clean up the table just a tiny bit. Cut off zip ties and rest stuff. Good. What? I bought a clone of this bed from my printer. I doubt it will fit. Well, you're talking about the ANIT? I think this is too large for the usual ANIT. Unless you are changing the, unless you have a bigger frame now. That is the question. One of the most impressive facts is that the heatbed does not need any adjusting screws. Well, it is not entirely right. That there is some, there is some holes here for screws, and you can absolutely adjust them later. There is an Octoprint plugin. I don't know the name, but I've seen it. I don't remember the name, but there is an Octoprint plugin that you can use to adjust these screws. It really tells you, from measuring the distances with the pin probe, it tells you turn this screw in the lower left corner by half turn right to adjust the distance. That's crazy, but that's absolutely doable. So it to really you usually don't have to do that because the pin probe is scanning the surface, and then it's applying the changes in the nozzle height. But if you want to have it as straight as possible, you can use this tool to adjust these screws and really tune the distance by, I don't know, micrometers probably. Yeah, the bed visualizer, I think there is a specific function there for Prusa only that does this. I've never done that before. I mean, this is my first i3. So I'm curious actually to try this out. So I'm in a heavily heavy Octoprint user, so I've seen that. I was always curious how this is gonna work, but I never could use it. So then with the instructions, it says we will have to bring a few things. We have the Heatbed, which I've done. We have a power cable. This is the red one. There's another bag here with this cable. I've seen that. Here we go. So, one power cable, a red cable, red and black. Which one is it? There's two. There's two actually, but they seem to be identical in length and diameter, so probably we'll just use one of them. So then we have in the back here that is also labeled. Where is this? There should be some M3x10, M3 washers and nylon nut. So, need to figure where I find those. This should be another specific bag for the heat bed assembly with just those screws. This is probably the spare parts. So we have one for spare parts, we have one for electronics, but I'm not sure if this is the right one. Here we have another one. There is number 7. That's probably the right. Yeah, this is the right one, number 7. So let's figure out which ones we need. We have washers. Let's put everything here. There's different sizes here. There is flat head and sunken head. Let's sort this. Flat head, I think these are the M10 ones. Then we have some washers here, which are distance holders. I'm not sure if this how they look. Oh, these are the flat ones, the usual washers. These are simple ones, and these are actually like distance pieces for the heat bed. Good. Okay, so we need 2 M310. We need these washers, and then 2 nylon nuts. Nylon nuts. These are white ones this time. Okay. Next step. It is very important to connect the power cable correctly. Before you start the assembly, have a look at the pins. The one on the left with ground sign must be connected to the black wire. The Bob Francesco. Before getting the MK3S Plus, I have printed in MK2S with my Ender 3P. Works not bad, but the MK3S Plus is much better equipped. Hey, Mad Scientist is back. Glad to see some progress. Yeah, we are making some steps forward. I think we're already with the electronic steps which is surprising me. I was expecting this to go for a longer time because I was looking at how many steps there was for assembling the extruder, and it was like, how many? Over 70 steps, and we were kind of in the middle, and I was not expecting that we are going to finish today. But yeah, we are doing the heat bed. We did the LCD screen already. I would say, like, from just looking at the clock, that I will be doing a few more minutes, just finishing this part here with the heat bed, and then we're gonna I'm gonna call it a day for today, and we'll continue next time. So, what do we have to do now? Hey, Media Man. He is there. Yes. When you're done with the Prusa assembly, the first upgrade should be the Delta P part cooling duct. Oh, you're like, you know how to sell your stuff. Like, no, I'm good. I mean, I would say actually the next thing that I should do is upgrade my Ender 3 to Hiromi Gen 6. That should be the next thing. Absolutely. Because I have been printing these parts already. They are just sitting there and waiting, and I've decided that I will do the Prusa build now, and so I've delayed the upgrade a bit, but it's still waiting. Gen 7. Oh yeah, you're doing this. I mean, didn't have the time to fully look into the magnetic version, but I'm very interested to try that at some point. Just have to be careful that I'm not like disassembling too many printers, because I need them in my little farm. So I probably will have to take one out and then try things out on the one printer, and then make sure that I'm not like doing too many things at the same time. That's why I'm adding the Prusa now. I'm adding it to the farm, and then when this thing is running, when this is going successfully and we have it up and running, I can take out another Ender and do some modifications with that. But I don't want to like modify too many things at the same time. Good. Let's double check the cables that we didn't confuse them. So just to double check, I have the ground cable with just the black one on the ground connector, and I have the red one here on the VCC, which is good. That's the way how it should be. Double check. Cable cover will be applied later. Requires the connectors to be slightly inclined towards each other. Press them gently, but leave a gap. Well, yes, I mean, this doesn't really hold at the moment. I need to untighten the screws a bit for that, but let's see. Can try it. Well, yes, kind of works. Okay, so we can push those cables a bit, and then they are looking like this. This is working. Preparing the heat bed. I think these are the cable covers, cable holders, that they are not. Probably it's holding the cable, so it's not getting. Yeah, so you can't really break the cable, or it's protecting the cable from getting pushed around too much. It's not breaking. So I think I'm gonna like here. Yeah, we're gonna go into chat mode now, because I'm getting quite tired now. So, Media Man, you're saying you're releasing the Gen 7 very soon. What are you saying? When is this supposed to happen? Do you have any timeline on Gen 7? Ah, October. Okay, I see. Well, I have the Gen 6 parts printed, so I'll probably do it just as one of the next things. And I, like, since I have the base, which is allows me to swap out parts easily, it is probably not an issue. I mean, we can talk about that. Probably we're gonna have a little call, so we can figure out what makes sense, because yeah, when you have something interesting, when some interesting mod comes around from my printers, I'm definitely interested to show it. Let's try that. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream so far. I think we had not many people around this time, but I still enjoyed it so far, because I made some progress, which is the most important thing. So let's just briefly check out what we've done so far, just as a final thing. So let's have a look. Here we go. So the assembly is done from the hot end perspective. We're done here. We did the cable management. Yeah, we prepared the heat bed. At least we attached the cables. LCD screen is fixed. So far, so good. Next steps are going to be yeah, attaching the heat bed here, attaching the power supply, attaching the electronics case, and then connecting all the cables and doing the first run. I think that realistically, in the next, I'd say 2-3 hours, so next stream, I would expect that this printer is going to print. Which would be awesome. I need to look back how many hours we did, but this was like the stream number 4, and we were like doing this very, very relaxed. And the worst, the brain assembly. I mean, this was a pretty relaxed stream. All the previous ones, we didn't really rush it, but I think it's also like about the experience and learning it and having fun. And that's what the hobby is all about, right? So we're not rushing stuff just to get done, unless we really want to, like, we want to have this for a specific, like, productive reason. Luckily, I don't yet need this printer for production, but I see some projects on the horizon that will require me to change, at least to have some more printers, and then at least also from a quality perspective, to have a few more printers that have good quality. So that's why I hope that this printer is gonna be a good addition to my fleet. We should definitely do some basement tour soon, because I've moved all of my printers in my home basement and I've changed the place a bit. I've made some rearrangements. So we should definitely do some basement tour soon to show you the print farm and what I'm currently printing. And let's do that. What was Andrew sending me? Did he send me something? Yeah. Andrew, I think for me today is pretty late. Family is already waiting, so I will be going back right after the stream. I'm going back home, but I will tell you I'm available this week. Like, we can do it in the evening. So thanks for coming. I think we shortly had, or for a few moments, I don't know how long he stayed or if he's still there. Scott Lethine was here, or is he still there? I don't know. I probably can check this, but happy to have some people here who appreciate what we're doing here. I completely forgot about that we wanted to celebrate 60K subs. So we definitely need to do that at some point. hopefully in one of the next streams, I'll send you a little bit of an invitation in terms of you will get the announcement if you're subscribed. So we'll have some fun. I'll hopefully also have Rasmus here, so we can do some chatting. We have actually we have a nice setup now where we have two little chairs here, or like two relaxed chairs, so we can sit there, have some fun, chat, and also do some giveaway. So yeah, I'll let you know when we do this, but very soon, in the next coming days, weeks, I'll try to make it happen. Hey, you have a Bambu Lab X1 Carbon with the AMS. Yeah, that's great. I've got the, like, they sent it to me as a testing version. Then they sent me another AMS, I think a few weeks back. Now I have these two AMS. The problem is that I still need to get, I want to have this special, how's it called? This is, I think it's a splitter or something. That's how they call it. And I just realized that my screen is somewhere on night mode, or the night light. Here we go. So Bambu Lab has some, yeah, this is the AMS and the AMS hub. The AMS hub. The thing is that it is not available yet, but as soon as it's available, what I want to do is I want to get this hub to connect it to the two AMSs that I have. And then I will be able to try out printing 8 different colors, and then I have also pre-ordered a second X1 Carbon, so I will be we'll be able to test out 12 colors just for fun. No, I'm seriously. These are printers for the farm. I'm not doing this just for fun. It's really does. Printers for the print farm, and but I'm excited that I can at some point probably try out 12 different colors with 3 AMSs, and I don't have a project for that yet, but maybe we'll find some. Okay, so anyways, everyone, thank you for coming. We'll see each other in about, yeah, I would say about a week, like maybe on Monday or Tuesday next week. I'm not entirely sure because we have so many projects going on at the moment that sometimes I can't make it on Monday because we had to do some renovation work at home, and then we have few things happening that we need to fix at home, and then sometimes things get pushed around. That's why we're doing this on Tuesday. Like, I wasn't planning to do this today. I was actually planning to do it yesterday. So keep watching out for that notification, and I'll see you next time. So have a good week. And next video is going live on Thursday. So I actually finally I finished this video that I wanted to make for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I started working on it weeks back, then we went on vacation. And then it was delayed for another 2 weeks, and now I finally got to edit this video, and I'm pushing it out on Thursday, 3 p.m. Central European time. That was such a relief when I got it done. I rarely take so many attempts to edit a video and finish a video, but this time, for whatever reason, it took me forever. But it's done. And I'm up for the next one. So I'm gonna see you. Bye bye.